Yeah, we're recording, buddy. What's up, everybody? Today, you are joining me on my third episode of my podcast. Come on, consistency is key, baby. And today, I actually couldn't find a guest, so I was scrapping around my phone. I was thinking, oh, shit, I need someone because I can't talk for 2 hours on my own. Who can I get in that's even more annoying than me? And I found someone. It's Josh Holdsworth. Josh_Drift Games. How
You,
are you, buddy?
you know what? Usually I get a quite insultive introduction on our own podcast, and I was actually prepping to be bigged up a little bit, but you've actually given me the same as what Dave gives me. So thanks for that. I feel right at home now.
I'm going to big you up a little bit anyway, buddy. So Josh Holdsworth, for those that doesn't know, is part of Drift Games over in Ireland. He is the English edition that now forgets his English, so that's great. And he is also one of the two main videographers for any content that you see coming out of Drift Masters, which is actually very good. So it's annoying having to compliment you, especially when you're looking at me, but there it is. There we go. I have to say, for anyone that
That's
hasn't,
weird hearing a compliment from you.
I'm about to say even more nice shit. It feels weird saying it to you, Josh. Normally I say it's behind your back, but
I thought we had a rule, like we say nice shit behind each other's back, and then to each other's faces we say nothing but bad.
I know it's weird, isn't it? Being like nice to your friends, it's strange. But the video you and Lucas did that came out yesterday, that was the summary of DMEC final over in Poland that we've literally just got home from. You may hear I'm a little bit tired. I have not slept still. I think the adrenaline is still coursing through my body of what's happened. And every time I see a video, especially the one you and Lucas have made, was and Ian as well, absolutely outstanding. So little round of applause there for Joshy. I'm clapping for anybody that doesn't know, just in case it sounds weird.
Thank you. That was me bowing while sitting down, which is a very tough thing to do.
So Josh, quickly fill everybody in if I haven't. Who are you and what do you do?
So my name is Josh Holdsworth, as you said. Work for Drift Games, Drift Masters, do content for events, we run a YouTube channel, and just I'm not sure we've figured out what we're doing yet, but we're doing stuff and recording stuff and covering stuff. And I don't know, it's always the hardest thing to answer. Like every time I'm at a wedding and somebody asks, what do you do? I never know how to answer. So yeah, pretty much to make it simple, film things and sometimes film ourselves. We have a company. I've made it too complicated already.
It's fine, Josh. I think I explained it better than you did. But Josh is a very, very close your ears quickly. Just put your fingers in your ears real quick. So Josh is a very, very, very talented filmographer, videographer who I hate being nice to you, Josh. I have the absolute pleasure to work with the Drift Masters, even though sometimes I want to punch
Stop being so fake here.
Sometimes I want to punch in the chin, but most of the time I do quite like you. So it's good. I wanted to get you in today.
I like you too, buddy.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Let's go back to when I joined the team real quick, because I don't want to talk too much about us yet, us as a friend show and all the groups that we do, because today I want to do a season roundup. That stays secret. That can come on my OnlyFans later in the year when times get really tough. So anyway, the funny thing is, when I first properly sat down with you, when I joined the team, it was in Riga at the club afterwards, that we had to pay our way into the pub to get to stay open because no one had COVID passes. Do you remember that? And you were like, "Oh, I didn't think you liked me," and I was like, "No, I like you." And I was like, "I didn't think you liked me," and you're like, "Oh no, I liked you." And then we've been best friends ever since. So it's been very cool.
Really funny. It's really funny that I have no recollection of that.
You were quite drunk. What a surprise! But it was good. And then we spoke about Bam Margera and stuff, and it was cool. So we were like, we're best buddies ever since.
Sounds about right. I've always liked you, buddy.
I like you too, Josh. So can we just for 2 hours? Just for 2 hours. That's the whole podcast.
We're not doing 2 hours. That was your last.
Well, you might. Well, maybe an hour and 45 minutes. These podcasts I want to be long.
I've heard too much Adam Ivell recently.
You have to remember, Josh, we are all idiot car people that decide to go to events 4 billion light years away from where we live all the time. So people need podcasts, and I want to do them, and I enjoy doing them, and I like them being long. So sucks to be you. You said yes to doing this.
To talk.
I'd love to talk. I don't normally get a fucking word in when I'm away with you, so it's nice to actually be able to fucking talk for a change. So,
every single time we share a room together, my God, hits 12 o'clock and want to go to sleep, and you will not shut up. I still don't know if it's a joke or not, but you honestly, it's like when you liven up and oh,
Oh dear. It's because this is what happens when you're an overactive brain, mate. Unfortunately, it's a pain in the ass. But anyway, I wanted to do a full season review, and I thought it'd be better to have a guest and someone that's been on the ground level with me. Because I feel like we as the media team for Drift Masters get insane aspects of the event. Like we get to see it from every single angle. We get a very unique perspective of each event, like as such as the last one, Poland, where there was only us four. So when I say us four, me, you, Lucas, and Jordan Butters were allowed in the center of the track, along with a couple of friends of the championship. That's what I'd probably call them, because I didn't know who they were, so I assumed they were allowed to be there. But yeah, so none of my business if they weren't. So it's not my job to keep them off the track. So I made sure that we got together so we can talk about this, because I want to go over each round. We don't have to spend too long talking about each one.
Each round?
Yeah, there's only 6 of them. It's not going to take that long, mate.
I'm not sure I can remember the first.
Well, don't worry. I made sure I've gone through them today and got key points, because I am a podcast host now. I need to add that to my LinkedIn, innit? So
Add that to my resume.
Yeah, add that to my resume. So started off Ireland, Mondello Park. Obviously, that's your local. You're like 20 minutes from there, right? It's not far from you at all.
Yeah.
For me, I suppose you used to work out of it as well. You guys used to have an office at Mondello Park, so it was not.
Well, at that time, we were still working out of there. So
yeah,
I don't know. It doesn't feel like if something starts in Mondello Park, it never really feels like the season's really kicked off, because I associate Drift Masters with a lot of traveling and everything like that. So when it starts off half an hour from your house at a place where you do lots of events from, it's kind of like a warm up. I kind of feel like it kind of edges you into the season. And I don't know, going into every single season, I feel like, I'm not sure if you're the same, you feel a bit like you've had the off season, and I think Drift Masters is one of the things that, for me personally, I think it's like one of the biggest things that we do is kind of, we've always kept something within our company of drifting, we're running a drift event like this, but like Drift Masters is kind of like, we see that as the best series that we're involved with, so we like to push it. So every year, I think that it brings a lot of pressure into, and I'm sure you feel the same, of like to do the job right, to portray everything in the right way. And it's almost like, I don't know, it's good that the championship is so good, and it has that kind of, makes you have that feeling to live up to almost.
Yeah, I think the fun thing for me, I love coming to Ireland. I love Irish people. I love that they've almost accepted me, because I know the English-Irish thing can always be a bit, of a touchy.
It's tough. It took me,
battle.
6 years?
Yeah, but I feel like I've got gained some great friends out there, and I feel very, very comfortable in Ireland. And I love Mondello Park. I think it's great, and it's some track as well, man. It's like some really exciting drifting to watch. Going back to what you said about how Drift Masters feels, like when Dave initially called me up through the lockdowns and said, like, do you want to work with me? I just said yes, because like Dave Egan's Dave Egan, right? He's like the big Donny in like drifting to me. I was like, wow, yeah, I'm down for whatever. Obviously, what was planned didn't work out, and he was like, I'm just gonna figure something out so you can still come. I was like, I get to travel with Drift Masters. This is fucking insane.
Yeah, I think your original role. What was your original role? Always social?
No, it was going to be backup for Becky, I think. And stuff like that, because they didn't have Nick Bright just yet, and Red Bull said they'd rather use one of their presenters, which was fair enough. Like, obviously, I had zero experience of presenting at all until literally LZ World Tour about a month and a half ago in Ireland. That was my first ever time ever doing it. So, like, the fact that Dave even believed in me enough to say, this is what I want you to do was fucking awesome. Gave me a lot of confidence. And then obviously Kean and him figuring out the job that I would be doing, which was running the Instagram and the dreaded TikTok account. Like it was great.
Just for the viewers, he is called the TikTok guy.
They call me the TikTok guy.
And he
was supposed to do I'd be swinging.
He was supposed to be doing a TikTok dance at the last round, which he said he would do, and he's held it off till next season. So I'm just putting it out there. It's on video now. That is what you said. Agree to it now.
I'm gonna have to lose some weight, Josh. I can't be that kebab man. Though.
At the end of next season, he will do a TikTok dance in front of the whole crowd, and it will be fantastic.
If you're lucky.
Sorry, carry on.
And
I had to get that in there then.
yeah, it's okay. I was expecting it. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, I got to do it, and it was just about figuring out what I was doing really. But the cool thing for me was that I got to kind of join in with three of the most talented. I hate being so nice about all of you. Like even Jordan Buzz will probably hear this at some point. I'm gonna be nice about him as well.
So I paid Jordan a compliment in our podcast. I didn't even realize he screen recorded and make it his text tone.
He's gonna voice clip it and everything and share it around 4 million times, I'm sure. But anyway, Jordan Buzz is one of the most outstanding photographers, especially when it involves with motorsport, that I've ever seen. So getting to like see how he works and how great he was bringing me in. He showed me around a lot of the little tricks spots and all that in Latvia, especially because in Austria, I mean, that track wasn't ideal for what we do, I don't think. I think I'm allowed to. It's my podcast, so I guess I can say what I want. But the track was like a go-kart track, really, wasn't it? And it was very difficult to, make anything. It was, like Riga, you have like the crazy entries and it's just like spectacular. Whereas like Austria was just a bit like, that was my first ever time and I didn't know what to do. And then obviously I have you and Bandana to follow around as well as filmmakers and see how you guys work and see how you guys edit. And for me, it's just such a valuable experience to be around so many people that are so good at what I love. So it's cool. So yeah. I don't know why we got into that, but anyway, it's been very cool and a very great experience. Oh yeah, DMEC being the biggest thing. Yeah, so now I feel more comfortable in the role, and I don't feel like I'm constantly going, oh, I hope Kian likes this, or I hope Dave likes this. Like, oh, is this okay? Can I put this in? I know what I'm doing now. Like I can turn up and it's just like I know what I'm doing. Like I have new ideas before I even get there, and I'm sure you are the same. Like when you're editing, you're probably thinking, God, next year I could probably get a better view here or do that. But let's go back to Mondello Park. Let's go back to round one and actually try, because this is how podcasts are 2 hours, Josh. We go off on tangents. No, we're not even talking about the points that I want to hit, but I think it's interesting. I like the conversation.
I'm not sure how we got so far away from round one. Okay, back at round one.
I don't care. It's good content to me. I like it. It's good chat. So Ireland, round one. You always, because you guys are heavily involved with the Ireland rounds, right? You guys run pretty much everything.
Yeah, I think that's
games.
One of the rounds. Yeah, that's one of the rounds where we do help with Mondello and everything like that, of sorting stuff out. We're more involved with. I don't say we. Our team kind of mostly just brings the media, but then our extended team, which is Adam O'Connor, and stuff, he would be on the operations side for Mondello. So that's where our team's brought in a bit more for that event. But that is a little bit different because it's kind of the same thing as what we have for, say, Jap Fest, which is another event in Mondello. So, yeah, we're more heavily involved.
You have the amazing car show. Is it Modified Live? Is that what it's called? Something like that? I can't think.
Modified Live. So that's the Mondello event that Drift Masters is an attraction to.
Yes, and Ireland has a outstanding array of modified Japanese cars. It's not a secret. The show is amazing.
No.
And what? Would you say no for?
Not saying it's no secret.
Oh, right. Okay. I was like, what? You were like, I said, there's an amazing array of Japanese cars. You went, no.
No, I wasn't saying like no as in no.
So yeah, it's super great. Which is also really fun for it to run alongside the drifting. And there's always a great atmosphere there with the big screen in the car park. And, the track is awesome. It's easy access to get around pretty much. The only negative from my point of view at Mondello Park is their absolute lack of internet. So when you're the internet guy, having to run around and upload constantly, having to go back to the office just to get internet is my least favorite thing in the world. But it's still great.
Well, the things I don't understand from that is because we always say like that there's an internet big mass thing, on the grounds of Mondello. But I don't. I'm looking at where the signal is coming from, and it's still rubbish.
It's absolutely terrible.
It's like a joke of Ireland of like how bad it is of internet and technology and everything.
I think next year you might even get 3G. That might be cool if they can get that in. That'd be great, right?
That's coming in soon. Yeah, 3G. big moves.
Big moves. But on the track, there was a few cool things that happened. And I think the main one for me, my main takeaway from Ireland was Laurie Heinonen. He turned up this season and just fucking slapped everyone. He was like, motherfucker, I'm here.
That's kind of the thing. So like you always have like the pre-season.
Sorry. Also, I meant to say another name, Kevin Pascolti. So them two last season were mid-table. They were good drivers, but they weren't really competitive for the top. You know, they were just doing good. You know, like I can remember the year before, Kevin Pascolti got his first top 32 qualification, and he lost. You know, he was so happy. And then this year he turned up, and it was like, wow. You know, it's like, oh, he's actually here to try and win now. Like he's done his his season of just getting used to it, and now this boy wants to win. All right, cool. Laurie Heinonen coming back with 300 more horsepower. Sheesh, man, that boy can drive. You know, like all of a sudden it starts to become a bit more of a level playing field in the cars, and then oh man, it's exciting. But yeah, so they were two real standout guys for me at Mondello Park. From where I was witnessing, but like this was a long time ago now, and we've seen a lot of drifting since. So
no, but that is the funny thing, because if you go to the previous season, that's what I always like at the first round, because you're kind of expecting the people who were good last season to be the top guys, and then like a few mid packs come in hot, like whatever they've been doing on the off season, changes to the car or sim racing or practicing and everything. And on the first round, it's like, oh shit, they're a contender.
Yeah.
And then you're not too sure if it's just going to be a fluke.
Yeah.
And then the next round, it's like, oh shit, they're still there. That's the most exciting thing for me, is watching, because I think there's something that's like clicks with drivers. Like they do a season and then they kind of get the grounds of it. They feel comfortable. They know the drivers around them. And then all of a sudden they just make the jump, I think.
Yeah.
And I think that's what those two drivers have done this season. They've made the jump. They're not just hoping to qualify. Like they're top 16 and above drivers now. Like it's where they're going to finish up, not just whether they're going to qualify, whether they're going to pass the top 32 battle.
Yeah. And I'll be honest, this year's been such a blur. I don't have a huge recollection of all of the stuff that went on. Like I said, I'm living off of an energy drink right now. I've got a Monty pipeline punching me, so I can just survive this, because I cannot explain how tired I am still from this weekend. But and like I said, I don't think it's just tiredness. I think there's a lot of that dopamine distribution. So it's been like I'm suffering a little bit. But Ireland I just remember it being great. I stayed at Dave's house, so we got to see his dogs for the first night. That was quality. And you're staying in a house with dogs.
That's what you remember.
Yeah, it was quality. And it was just it was really good. And it was like, the anticipation of the season to come. But Ireland is always like a relaxed round for me, because I feel so at home at the track. I know my way around. I know most of the staff. It's easy. I wouldn't say easy. I think what we do is ridiculous, like the amount of workload that we undertake in the hours that we're given. But I think we smash it, and I felt Ireland was always a great place to just go and know what we're doing, and the crowd, and then it's just great. I just think it's great.
Yeah.
And
it's a very safe round, I think. Like I don't think there's ever been a bad big drift event there.
Like, I mean, the crowd are amazing. Like the Irish crowd that turn up for that. I know they're not just Irish. I know people flying from all over to watch, but like for the most part, it's a core Irish, and you have got elite Irish drivers. So it's always.
I think that's the thing, is like, there's like the local drivers that obviously know the track ridiculously. But then I think Drift Masters this year, I think, like I've said this a few times on our podcast and other places, like I think coming into round one, I think finally, because there was the whole Valino tire thing and drivers not having the grip and stuff like that, I think this year, as soon as the first round, I think drifting kind of met like a limit of like horsepower, strength of the cars and tires and grip and everything. And I think it led to this year being so unpredictable. Whereas before, I think Peter won every round pretty much, or podiumed every round. And then this year,
Peter was so dominant for 2 years.
And so dominant.
Yeah, he's so good as well. Like he is that he
had the best car, best tires, and he was the best driver. And as a combination,
so
that's just ridiculous.
Yeah. He's so exciting to watch as well. Like he's just such a maniac, and I love it. Like it's so cool because he's just such a wild man, and it's so fun.
But I think for the first time, I think we've seen him go past his comfort zone. Yeah. I think previous years, I think he there's no denying he had the fastest car.
Yeah,
and he would play a little bit, and he'd be very strategical. Like he would wipe someone in the first run, and then he would lay back a little bit because he didn't have to make any dangerous moves or anything. But this year, you saw him he wasn't the fastest person on track. He had to he had to work for it.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's made this year so exciting.
Yeah.
No one's really had the advantage. People have just gone up a level.
Yeah.
The cars have gone up a level, the driving's gone up a level, and there's a top 16 there where anybody could win.
I think also maybe on Peter, it's like with him building these Supras in the background and them still not being how he wants them. Because I spoke to him at the last round about them just to kind of just catch up with him and stuff. And I love them Supras, man. I'm not going to lie. Like, to me, they're just
unbelievable.
Oh my God. I literally went up to him and I was just like, just well done, mate. These are fucking amazing. Like, I just love them so much. And we had a little chat about them and he was like, yeah, we're just still not there. And I was like, wow, can you imagine doing a whole season and then in your off season or in the downtime, instead of preparing for the next round, you're trying to build a complete new competitive car for next year to be ready and be competitive. But
they've been there for a year. Like, he's been developing those cars.
Yeah, but how frustrating must that be?
That's how much preparation goes in.
Yeah.
Like, if you compare them to us, say, we built 2 unknown chassis and they went straight to competition. It wasn't as if like, oh, there's a little bit of understeer here. We need to get the spring race or this, that. It's like, well, it's running, so let's go.
That's also a testament to the other lads that are, that don't have the financial backing that Peter might have, that have to compete with him. Do you know what I mean? Like, because he's going to be doing this whether everybody likes it or not, because Peter's a winner and he wants to win. Yeah. So he's going to be doing whatever it takes to win. But then all the other boys have to, and girls, obviously we had Chrissy Alto join us this year, and that was awesome. They have to be ready, and there's no, I sometimes I think you see a lot of people disappointed, but like when they're not qualifying or they're not doing this and that. But you got to look at the level you're at now. Drift Masters is the top of the tree in my opinion, and that's a big task. And if you want to be the best at Drift Masters, you have to beat the best of the rest. And everyone is outstanding in the top 32s. Always, I always see them trees. We get the trees through. Kia makes the brackets, and there's never easy battles, really, is there? Do you know what I mean? You're always like, oh no, like these are up against that. Oh my God, that's going to be insane. And this is top 32. Finland, for instance, Kalle Rovanperä versus Connor Shanahan, top 32 battle. Like, he was just like, I can't. I
still remember talking to Connor. I was talking to Connor after that, and he was like, I worked so hard the past 2 days to get my qualifying line, ride training, all this, that. And he's like, and that's who I got at the end of qualifying first.
Yeah.
He did the best he possibly could, and he got in.
Yeah, who's he got to go up against? Oh, the current reigning WRC world champion. Brilliant. Do you know what I mean? It's like, and he's probably going to win it again this year because Kalle is absolutely one of the most talented pilots of cars I've ever seen in my life. So it's so much fun.
We could jump forwards to Poland, but we'll save that.
We'll save that. We'll save that because in between this,
we're going to add a bit of structure to this, shall we?
Yeah, in between Ireland, which was amazing as always. There's not too much to say because that event's just always brilliant. We have Sweden, which is one of the hardest rounds, in my opinion, to work at because the sun never sets. The rooms that we have to stay in. The rooms we have to stay in are, I'm going to say it, fucking shit. I'm sorry, they're absolutely horrendous. Like the tiny little beds.
I think calling them a room is an overstatement. I've seen bigger wardrobes than these.
Yeah, I don't even. I'm not going to say. But yeah,
it's just an example of how small these rooms are. If I'm to get dressed, I have to put my bag on the bed so I have a place to stand in the room.
And the other person has to leave or go into the bathroom, which is tiny like this. That only seems to have freezing cold showers unless you wake up at 4 a.m. But other than that, and that guy calling me fat, which was fucking, I nearly threw a chair at him. Like, fuck that guy, piece of shit. Like, it's like, all right, dude, I know a little bit chubby, man. Fuck you, guy. Like, fucking dickhead. But anyway, that was like my 2 worst things about that whole event. He really pissed me off. I could have headbutted him. I'm not going to lie. And I literally, I'm nice and chill, man.
Yeah, I think you've got to go into that story now to make some context out of it.
Yeah, so there's not a whole lot to do. Like when you're in the Sweden rounds, when you're working there, it's in the middle of buttfuck nowhere, up in the Arctic Circle. And you literally, once you get there, it's like being on a summer camp from like in summer school or whatever. And you can't really leave the site. You can't really do anything. You're like just there. And one of the rooms has a pool table in it. So I'm just going to mention this. I'm undefeated. So
Are you undefeated?
yeah, I'm undefeated, Davey. So undefeated. Davey even thought he was gonna pump me, but the Essex boy turns up. You know, I'm fucking on it. So yeah, we had a few good games with Paul, and we were chilling out. And there was I sat next to Kian. I was super tired, man. Like that at that Sweden round. I mean, you're doing a lot of legwork at most of these rounds, but Sweden is fucking a lot.
Sweden's long.
A lot. So chilling out, and I was sat next to Kian, and I'm like, so I'm in the presence of all of the people that, not number one, didn't just hand select me for the job, but they pay me to be there, and they're people I really respect. So I don't want to look like an absolute prick in front of them, right? So I try and like.
I mean, you are from Essex.
Yeah, I know, but it shouldn't mean that I throw glasses at people. Like that's just stay back in Colchester, right? So like,
you got a reputation, Tom.
So I'm you know. I'm just like chilling with Kian and like just vibing. I was probably looking at some chick on Instagram or some shit. I can't remember. But like, we're just like, just chilling. And this fucking guy comes in and he just goes, so everyone calls, like, Jordan Butters come up with this stupid name. I don't know why, but he calls me Adam Drivel because I was always the rental car driver. How the tables have turned.
No, it wasn't. It was because specifically at Sweden, you drove everywhere. Every time we went to the rental car.
Yeah, because the track is far. To get to one side of the pit to the other, it's a 25-minute walk. I was like,
so that's why his name got called.
Yeah.
Adam
So
Drivel.
anyway, I got called Adam Drivel. So this fucking guy comes in. I assume he was Swedish. He comes in and he was like pointing at Blaine of all people, the one guy that's probably never done a fucking skid in his life. And he was like, I bet you're the drifter, you're the driver here. And Jordan went, oh no, that's Adam Drivel, and pointed at me. And he went, no, he's too fat. And I was too tired for this shit, man. Like,
no, tried to laugh it off.
I tried to laugh it off originally, and then my brain kind of like, Josh, do you want to know how it actually was going down in my brain? So I was chilling, right? I was so chilling. I was just happy to like have my shoes off. I was kicking. I was fine. I was relaxing. But there was I think Kian or one of the boys had a bottle of beer on the table over there, and it was empty. And when this guy said what he said, and he looked at me, my eyes went straight to that glass bottle, and I was like, I can definitely hit him from here. I was like, I can fucking hit him from here with that. And then I looked left and I was like, oh, if I hit this geezer with a bottle, Kian is definitely going to not be happy with that. And then I saw Dave in there and I thought, Dave probably won't mind, but Kian probably will.
No, like, you know what? I think we all had the same thought of like.
I was like, it was just unnecessary. I was like, the fuck? I was like, what the fuck am I going to do? Why motherfucker? I've done nothing.
But I think that's one of the few times I think you can, and we've all had it, of like, obviously you can over-escalate the situation. But you were just minding your own business, and then he was rude to you. And it's one of those moments where you kind of like, do what you want.
Yeah.
It's like,
and I literally, I think I snapped a little bit because he was like, because Jordan went, oh, that was a bit unnecessary, or something like that. And I just went, fuck off now. And he was like, oh, fuck off now.
You laughed it off. You're like, haha. And you're like, fuck off.
Yeah, get the fuck out of it right now. I was like, get the fuck out right now. And then he was like, well, oh, fucking get the fuck out of here right now. Fucking dickhead. Like, fucking, he was like one of the fucking Canadian characters on South Park. That's how he was chatting.
I was just gonna say you sounded like him. Though.
Yeah, but yeah, that really like ruined my event, if I'm honest. But Sweden did have some really cool aspects to it. I felt this year. Juha
What? Tell these to me.
Juha turned the fuck up in his new GR86 and won the whole event. Yes. That thing looks so cool. I love that car. And Juha's such a lovely dude as well. So it was great to see him up on the podium. Nakamura on the podium as well. I think that made Volino happy and a lot of the Nakamura fans very happy seeing him actually.
You know what? That made me happy because there's a lot of him coming into Drift Masters saying, oh, he's got the Japanese style. He doesn't know how to drift European and everything like that. And he has some scrappy moments. We describe him as he is the highlight reel. He will in 2 runs of the qualifying, he will give you all the highlights you need. He'll have smashed into someone, rubbed a wall, done something ridiculous.
Does a burnout on a scooter.
He's always doing a burnout. The worst thing is, the dude doesn't understand any English. So when you get told on the top 16 parade, drive out there and parade out. Don't do any burnouts, nothing like that. And he's just there, second limiter.
Yeah.
No one can tell him what to do.
Do you know what? Since I've got to know all the drivers and they get to know me and they know that what I'm doing and they see me with the camera out, that's when like most of them like give me a wave or like a, you know, like a little thing on the camera. So just, you know, because it works with the series, right? Yeah. No. Nakamura doesn't give me a thumbs up. He does a freaking burnout. And then he'll just be banging the limiter. I'm like, yo, we're going to get in so much trouble, dude. Like, whatever, fuck it. Like, and it's great. So they were two.
It's happening now.
Yeah, they were two of the highlights for me on the track. Palais Rovo Impera's car caught fire, which was pretty crazy. And he
I
didn't
don't think
notice and
he
just carried
actually
on.
realised
Yeah, like he got in, like car was just on fire and he just kept drifting because he's a mad
on
bastard.
the inside.
Yeah, on the inside, like it was crazy. And then obviously the best part of the Swedish rounds for me is the freaking Eurofighter jets that fly over and does this little parade and stuff. Like,
My God, I'm going to say this. That I'm not sure if you're going to say this, but the timing
oh my god,
of Ian. So this was you couldn't even do this if you planned 100 times. So Ian was up in the tower, away from the crowd and stuff like that, and he was doing the top 16 intros, introducing the drivers and everything like that. And what did he say? Like, turn on your engines. Welcome to the top 16. And a jet flew over instantly as soon as he said
but
that.
you see it before you hear it. But I didn't see the fucking thing. I saw it out the corner of my eye because I had my back to it, and I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, what? And the noise. Oh my god! Do you know what? Sweden is like.
Nothing can compare to that.
Sweden as a country is beautiful. The people are lovely, apart from that one guy that called me fat. He can go fuck himself. But everybody else was so cool. But the fact they had a jet plane very much made up for how far away that track is from everything and anyone. And I think the only big problem I felt that place had was that it didn't fill the stands because of how far away it was for everybody to get to.
Yeah, I think that's my main problem with Sweden. I'm going to be honest. I'm not a big fan of the Swedish round. I think I don't think the track's the problem. I just think it's where it is. It's kind of
because the track's
it genuinely
cool.
is in the middle of nowhere. Where we're driving along the road and it just turns into a dirt road for no reason for like 10 kilometers. Like it's that much in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I'm not joking. It is like we're at some sort of army camp. Like we don't leave the place. Like we're relying on the food to come to us almost because we don't even know where the next shop is outside the place. And I think for like it's one of those things. Driftmaster is as much as the driving is incredible. I think it's the fans that really bring the atmosphere and bring the whole thing to be a spectacle. I think it's like F1. It's like any other sport. If you had an F1 round and there was 13 spectators, like it wouldn't be the event that is. It's based around the fans. The drivers are there for the fans. That's the event. It's not. I know it's obviously got a big live stream presence and everything, but at the end of the day, it's for the fans.
Yeah, for sure.
And when there's no fans there, then it doesn't make it that good.
Yeah, and for me as well, as part of what I always try and do is I get involved with the fans. I like to get in the mix. Like I'll go in the stands and I'm sat with them if there's a spare seat and all that. I love it because that's where you get the best atmosphere, and that, in my opinion, makes the best content.
Absolutely.
And it's just great. And then when you're there and there's just gaps everywhere, and like there's a lot of Finnish people there, which is what
it doesn't look good from a live stream perspective.
No,
to say you go from Mondello where there's 15,000 people or however many, and then you go to Sweden and like from a stream perspective, like it's always one of those things. If someone's watching, it's like, oh, there's nobody there. It mustn't be that good. But I think it is just a location of the place.
Yeah, it is a shame because the track is awesome. The track staff are all lovely. Like the fact that the owner
put in that tarmac for us and everything,
the corners extra, like. But it's just where it is. It's just so far away, man. And the sun not going down as well. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I think we kind of nailed it this year, having all the eye blinds and all that. What are they called? The eye blindfolds.
Oh, we prepared. So I don't think the first year we actually slept
at all. It was horrendous. And then, it was cool. Like overall, you get there, you get it done. There was a bit of controversy, obviously, with Peter Vicek and Alex Holovnia with the overturning. They wanted it overturned, but the judges standed strong on that, which was cool. And
yeah, that's another point I will bring up. It's kind of a strange one, I find, the whole appeal process. Because obviously drivers are allowed to appeal, and I think there's a tier thing where if a top 32 it's this much and it increases to I don't think you are allowed to do the final. I think it goes up to top 3 or something.
Right.
But you're allowed to appeal it and say your reason, but you're not allowed to bring any new evidence to the table as such.
Yeah.
So he's only appealing his thoughts to the judges that have already made their decision.
What I found a little bit unfair with it, I'll tell you what I found a little bit unfair about it is that Alex Holovnia is from Ukraine and he's a lovely man. I get on really well with him, but he doesn't speak great English. Like he can understand it a bit, but when me and him were partying in Riga the year before, we were literally talking through Google Translate. So he'd type it in on his and then I would type it in on mine. So I felt it was a bit unfair for the live to go to him and chuck a mic in his face and be like, what did you think of that? because then he's going to be trying to be like, well, I'm on the TV now, so he's probably like, oh, it was an accident. Like, he probably doesn't, it'd be like me asking you to say it in Russian. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, Josh, what do you think?
Absolutely.
So you're instantly, your brain's going to be like, and your adrenaline's. I felt it was a little bit unfair that they went to him, and I think that probably caused a little bit more trouble.
But this is the thing as well. Like, I think that one of the reasons was he did say something on the live stream which was suggest it was a mistake or something.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the reason so the scenario was on the last corner, pretty much his tires were running out and he slowed down because the tires didn't have as much grip as
he wasn't braking. The tires were just.
He wasn't braking. He was on full throttle as the judges won, and you can't penalise someone for that because they weren't slowing down deliberately. They weren't brake checking. They weren't letting off throttle. It's just it's a fast track. It's a long track, and his tires just gave up a little bit more.
Yeah.
And you can't penalise anyone over that. In my opinion, I'm not a judge or a protest committee person, but in my eyes, it's famous on the road. It's the person behind that is responsible to not hit the person.
Yeah. I just felt I just felt with the language barrier. I think just sometimes we should just remember that not everybody speaks English. Like that's kind of how it is a European championship, so there's going to be drivers from all over the place, and I just feel like there should just be surely someone's got to go. Do you know what? Can he speak English before we ask him this? Do you know what I mean? Like, and mug him off. When we'll get to me getting to do the thing, but like one of them, I got asked to interview one of the drivers, and I literally said to them, "Can he speak English?" Before I chuck a mic in his face, is he all right with what I'm going to ask him? Do you know what I mean? Just because I hadn't ever spoke to that driver before, and I just wanted to make sure I wasn't going to embarrass him or myself, like when we go for it. So.
Well, you need to go in different. Say with Nakamura, all you want from it is a thumbs up to the crowd or celebration or something. Like, you know what you're going in for. Whereas if you go to an English speaking person, you can ask a more technical question.
Yeah, and but other than that, I think the round went really good, and I think for as good as it could. Obviously we saw Orjan fucking send his car to the moon again, but thank fuck he was okay.
Actually, that would have been one of my top moments. It sounds horrendous saying because he flipped the car. Luckily, he was absolutely fine.
And the team got it all back together.
But going from a team that was in practice, and he made it to his top 32 battle.
Yeah, unbelievable. Unbelievable. And he nearly won as well. Nearly won his top 32 battle as well. Like,
that was genuinely ridiculous what happened. Like, they had to get a new windscreen. Like, how that team got a car from rolled over to within an hour, I think, of being back on track for a battle is just ridiculous.
Also,
there's
something else I want to quickly say about the whole Alex Holovnia not talking English. Is obviously that Peter can speak very good English, but once again, it isn't his first language. So then you've got that mix of people trying to understand a different language and then translate it in their brain back to what they fully understand it as. And I just felt that whole situation was just a little bit messy. That I was just a bit felt really uncomfortable because I was like, I really like both of these guys and I don't want any drama or beef or over something that's literally a misunderstanding of they're not their first language. Do you know what I mean? Like, that was just like... Just made it a bit uncomfortable from someone like that then has to walk up to them with an iPhone and be like, hello, can I get your opinion on this? Like, it's like, fuck. I was like, I'm not going to go talk to either of them, man. I was like, I'm not doing it. Like, this is just too uncomfortable. Like, I can't do it. So
I think there's one of those stages in the situations like that where you have to just, and us as well as kind of, we report the event and everything, you have to kind of stand back and let the officials
do the thing.
Get involved. Yeah.
And then Dave and Ian obviously can then tell the crowd. I'm like, that can be their job. Cheers, boys. But yeah, I also feel like Sweden's other problem was what it was followed up by, which was Finland, which blew my brain away. I think I kind of went into that thinking it might be a little bit like Sweden with like how far it is and but then tell you what, man, when we rocked up there, I was like, oh, this is cool. Like in a theme park. Oh man, I loved and we had obviously the bonus. I want to bring her up again. Chrissy Olto got to be the first lady in Drift Masters, which is so amazing. I want more women in this sport. I feel like it's an inclusive sport where the girls can hang with the big dogs. You know, it isn't like UFC where if you put a woman UFC fighter in with a male one, she'd probably die. You know, this is a test of driving ability and skill, which girls are able to hang with the big dog. So I loved seeing it. was so much fun as well, like to have a new, something new to talk about instead of just the same old, same old. So it was great. What did you think to filming at that track as well? Because I know my thoughts on it, but I'm curious to what you thought.
I I'm stuck between two favorite rounds this year. Obviously, the last one, but Sweden would very much
Finland,
be up there.
Finland,
And
Finland,
Finland, sorry, Finland. Yeah, not Sweden, Finland. Because we saw the track. It's always good when you go there with little expectations. We saw the track beforehand. It was really badly filmed and everything. It looked tiny, and we're like, oh dear, what are we doing going here? And obviously, you see the Finnish crowd for the past few years. They're a wild bunch, and you have that. Maybe they may make up for it and everything. But honestly, it was unbelievable. Like the crowd, the track,
Amazing.
the driving, the way it was to shoot with a theme park in the back. Like it genuinely, I think, had it all. And I think the reason why it was so good is because even though it was in the middle of nowhere, the finish, like I'm not sure how much there is to do in Finland, but it was kind of like they all went to this place and they were camping and everything like that. They were all there for the weekend. So from the start of practice to the end of the battles, it was completely full.
Yeah, and I think that really is like one of those things, like you said about Sweden, is like when you get the fans in and the atmosphere is amazing. Obviously, we get the full access, so we get to go on the track. And when Dave was doing the top 16 parade, shouting out all the names, I genuinely felt like we were at a football game. We're like all like, and they're like,
Yeah.
Laurie Heinen. And it was like the loudest noise of the day. It was like, this is insane. They just love their drivers so much, and like they're so invested in motorsport. And like obviously we're very fortunate that Kalle Rovanperä was there as well in his home round, so the freaking crowd were insane. Yeah. Like it was just so special. I felt like, and I remember being there, boots on the ground, and I just loved it. The whole time I was there, I was like, this is fucking quality. Like from what I was like not expecting it to be like a round that blew me away. I thought it was just gonna be like one of those mid pack rounds, which was like, right, let's just get this one done, and then we can get to Riga because we know Riga's banging. Like so, this one though, it became until Poland. This was my favorite round, because it was just so much fun. The crowd were amazing on every angle. The track was a proper drift track. Like to me, that layout, how tight it was, how it was door to door the whole way around. I was like, this is drifting, baby. I was like, this is what it's all about. And I just loved it. So Finland, I love Finland so much now. I'm excited to go back, even though that hotel we stayed in, I think, was an old prison. But I'm going to try and...
They said spa hotel, but I'm pretty sure the translation of spa and prison got mixed up there.
Yeah. But I'm hopefully we can get in the spa. It's just we work so late on these events, but you don't.
You know what? That's actually the frustrating thing. We go to some quite nice places sometimes. We go to some shit places like the room in Sweden. Then we go to the spa hotel sometimes. We never see a pool or a spa.
No. Didn't get to enjoy any of the amenities. Although I mean, the other annoying thing is you see other drift.
It could have just been a cell downstairs or something.
Yeah, we see other Drift Masters employees going in there, and I'm like, them motherfuckers. I'm like, God fucking damn them. I hate them so much. I want to be in the spa, but like, hey, I just feel very lucky that we got to do it. And obviously, we also had the treat at the very end of the event, which was the massive after party at the track, and it was. I mean, you had the time of your life, didn't you?
I did have the time of my life. It's one of those moments where I think that's one of the only after parties I think I made it to this year. And it was obviously Darude was playing.
Yeah.
And I don't really know who Darude is. All I know is Sandstorm.
Yeah.
And it was just a magical moment of shouting Sandstorm for 3 hours. And eventually he did play Sandstorm. That's all I can really say. And I lost my voice and there's a lot of jumping around. I was wearing a white jumper, which was not white by the end. The Finnish fans were great. That was a good event.
The Finnish fans genuinely made me realize how big Drift Masters may end up getting. Because, like, I think a lot of people just go watch drifting for the crack. They're like, we'll just go watch some cars skid around. It's kind of cool, whatever. The Finnish follow drifting. So they know everything. And they know who you are. And they know who I am. And they're just like, this is great. Thank you for coming. I'm like, thank you for coming. It's on the calendar. I didn't have a choice. They make me come here. But I'd love to come back now. I love it here. This is great. Like, and it was such a feel-good round for me. And I'll tell you what, seeing the Shanahans battle it out in a final of Drift Masters was the tits. Seeing the boys there's
always one battle with those brothers, and it's never been disappointing.
No, but being a final as well, so it was just mint. It was just the perfect round for me, and obviously Connor did take that victory. Jack beat him in the LZ World Tour though, so I think that made up for it a little bit. But it was
they have a bit of tit for tat. I think it's fairly 50-50 now.
They're both absolutely amazing. I think that's like the thing. They're so different with how they drive. They have their own style completely, but they're both excellent. And it's so much fun to watch, and it's just so enjoyable as a drift fan. All right, I know we're lucky. You know them probably better than I do, but like I'm obviously getting like I've known them for a long time. I feel like they're my friends, so it's like I just want to see them having fun. And I always say that to them, like before they go out. I think Jack fucking has enough of me saying it. I'm just like, make sure you have fun, dude. Like, you know, because I know it's such a serious thing. I'm like, have fun as well, man. Like, what an opportunity you get. Like, I'd fucking love to be a pro drifter. That'd be so sick. So like, I just like try and remind him, like, yo, just remember, see what's happening around you, man. This is fucking crazy. Like, and you guys are the stars of this show, so enjoy it, you know. So it was amazing. Finland, absolutely. If I was to rate it out of 100, I'd give it a 98.5. That's how good I thought that was.
98.5. There's not much room for
no
better.
But there is.
I do believe we are going back there, and there is going to be a
double
lot
the
more
amount of stands.
seating.
Double the amount.
Yeah.
So it'd be even better.
They sold that out within a day, was it, or something ridiculous?
Insane. They're so great. I can't wait to go back already. And I've already told all of my friends, I'm like, there's one round that you want to get to this year. I highly recommend that one as well. I know Poland is obviously the big juicy baby at the end, like, but if you want to come and see some where the battles start to mean something, because the first 3 rounds are kind of like the packs are figuring out their cars, they're figuring it all out, they're kind of figuring out how the table's gonna look, and then all of a sudden, like, boom, we're into the second, like, coming into the second half of the season almost. This is the final round, you know, like of the first 3. Now it's starting to mean business. We've only got 4 left already, so let's get it. You know, it's great. Riga this year was weird. Mainly because I was hungover the whole time. Because the second
I will put this out there that we did go out drinking the day before,
and I don't drink.
Day.
Can I just preface this? Like, I in my normal life don't have any alcohol.
I can 100% confirm he does drink, and he did.
In my normal life, I have 0 alcohol. Like, I am basically teetotal, but I can be convinced to have a drink or 2. I just don't like it, but I do obviously like being drunk. I just don't like everything else that goes with it. So when I landed, I texted you, didn't he? Instantly, I was like, "Where are you?" Drop me a pin. I threw my bag in the room. Jordan Butters was dying, and I was like, he was so ill. His little boy had given him some little baby disease for like the weekend, and he was dying on his feet. And I was like, I need to get out of this place. Like, I've been sat next to this motherfucker for the last 5 or 6 hours because we got our plane delayed and shit. I was like, I need to get in fresh air, get some alcohol in me, and just have a good time. Turn up. Dave basically said, I'll buy you your first drink if you get fucked up tonight. So I was like, free drink? Okay, let's go, baby. And yeah, we ended up getting
who was the real winner there?
Well, not Dave either, because like I was dead all week. Like I literally came home from that, and I was like, I bet them boys hate. Like, I've just had the worst time around me this weekend, and I don't like to ever feel like I'm a downer on anything. You know, like, I always like to try and.
You know, the worst thing was of that whole time. I feel like within our crew, there's always someone who shows they're a bit vulnerable one day in like the weekend, and everyone just jumps on them. Like, it's been all of us at one
smell blood in it. You can smell blood.
There was a few, and you really got it hard that weekend. I would say from the practice day, and like usually it's like, "What's up, guys? I'm Ivell. We're here at Drift Masters." And your first story that day was,
"Yo, we're here. Like, we're here, and I can't wait to go home already."
My life.
We're here, and I can't wait to go home already. Can someone just fucking win this event already? Like, this is shit. But
you may as well have said it in that tone.
Yeah, I tried my best. I thought I covered it up well, but apparently not. Apparently, and I will hold my hands up. Like, the fact that it was so bad that Dave come out of the office at one point and looked at me and went, "Do I need to buy you an emotional support dog?" Because, and I said yes. I said I feel like I'm having a breakdown, and like that weekend hit me so hard, man. Like I said, I don't really drink. Like, I maybe once or twice a year I get a bit over the limit, and that was my first time since Riga last year. So it's been a whole year since I'd had a drop of alcohol. Like, I think the hardest thing I drank was a shandy leading up to it. So like, it was a rough one for me, but that also showed me like I've got like like not the like showed me that I've got like the sharks around me that will jump on me when I'm dying. Obviously, I fucking swore on the Red Bull live stream as well, didn't I? I forgot that the fucking live stream
that
was
was
live.
my favorite bit from Riga, I think, when he was on the big screen on the camera, and he me
Can I
and
just
Jordan
say this
caught
before
eye
you
contact.
no. Let me let them know as well, right? So all weekend, Josh and Jordan had been picking on me. Like all weekend. Like it had been relentless. Like a couple of the girls that we know that come to every round were there, and as soon as they come up to say hello to me, fucking Josh and Jordan are going, Adam, have you gone for that shit yet? Have you gone for your poo? And then Dave's got a fan come up to him when I'm standing with him outside the room, and like he literally wanted a photo with all of us, including me. And the second I get involved, Josh and Jordan are like, Dad, did you go for that shit yet? I was like, fucking cunts. I'm gonna fuck these bastards up. But like it was, you know, I know it's all love because I know that it's gonna come around again for you guys one day. So it's gonna be brilliant when I get to actually.
But that's what we say. If we wouldn't say those things if we didn't like. Yeah.
No, of course I know that as well. So it's it was okay. Although when I saw you guys taking the piss out of me, because I didn't want the live stream camera on me, I purposely stood out of the way. Like it was at the final. It was the final. So like my job's basically done at that bit. I can just get some cool clips for TikTok or Instagram stories, whatever. It's just like there's no more pointing people to the broadcast because at that point everyone's probably going to be watching it that would be watching it. But I was stood out of the way. I was like this. I was like this on the camera, just chilling, like arms across, wanting to be left alone. And then I saw them leave it on me. Josh, you can tell it from your side from now, if you're still listening.
Well, you carry on telling because I'm trying to find the video of this to give video. A bit of visual.
Okay, so so I saw from where I was, I heard Jordan went, "Oh look!" on the screen, and then look over at me, and then look back at the screen, and Josh and him started laughing. So I just went. I stood there, and I forgot completely that this was like not just going out at the track, but they were like pointing and laughing. So I just kind of went just like that. So if anybody was listening, I have my arms crossed and I just bring my hand up and I swear, just gently at my chest. Oh my goodness me, the live stream changed quick. Oh, you got it, yeah? Hang on, all right. So yeah, look, I'm down there in the little right corner. For anyone just listening on Spotify or the other platforms, you can see me swearing. And
and it was perfect timing. You literally did it for a second, and then it faded away.
You know, Kian or one of the lads in the truck was like, change the camera, change the camera.
I'm not gonna lie, I was scared for you because I was like, anything else you can kind of do, but it's like you're kind of on the stream swearing that, and it's subtle enough that no one would have really noticed.
I feel like some other stuff happened this season that would have probably meant I could have stayed in my job. So because I think swearing on the camera probably wasn't the worst thing that's happened. But Latvia was quality and overall, but it also had the hardest conditions of the year. I think the track was horrendously wet. The rain was just torrential, and
at the worst time. After 2 days of practicing the drive, and then it rained, which made the track even worse because there's a layer of rubber on top, which makes it even slippier.
And yeah, it was so hard to watch. And obviously, Dylan Garvey, who is having his rookie season with us, his engine went after it going again at the round before, spending a fortune, and it was just heartbreaking to see his whole team. You know, he's very lucky. He's got Megan, his girlfriend, to support him, I think, because she seems to have the most level head out of any, you know, person on a drift team that I've ever met. So she was she kept him in check, I think, and like kept his feet on the ground and was like, look, we'll get it. So it's going to be, you know, fine. And I hope they come back next year even stronger. I don't know what they're up to. He did say some of the plans.
I think they have a plan. I think it was just budget that
yeah
meant they couldn't continue the season. I think they put everything into that engine.
Yeah.
And they didn't have any room for any breakages, and unfortunately it went. So but I think he's definitely someone for next year that will be very competitive. I think he was just finding his feet in Drift Masters, and he had a bit of unluck with some tires and a clutch slip, and he never actually had a decent round.
But he still qualified every time.
He still qualified, won battles, but he, like in Mondello, his tire DB'd or something, or delaminated. In Sweden, he didn't have a clutch, and then in Riga, his engine blew, so he was far from a good season. But yeah, he's still not last. Like,
and he
he's
got
still good.
experience. I think getting that experience, like the broadcast that goes out to so many fucking people, like it is like such an amazing opportunity for all of these boys to put themselves on and girls to put themselves on the big screen. So it was really cool, and it was just I just felt Latvia was Latvia, you know. Like the only thing I really hate was how much rain there was, and then having to walk on the grass in the pits.
That was miserable.
Oh my god, I hate it so much. Like, because my fucking feet get soaking wet, and people don't understand. Like, we do so much footwork on these days, man. Like, and it's just nice to just be.
I think we do a marathon a day, or like 24 kilometers. Like,
so much,
we
man.
do a lot of
so much, and like, and it ain't just like from like 9 till 5. This is like 7 a.m. until 11 p.m. sometimes. Like, it's like serious groundwork, like what we do and put in, and like it was just miserable. But that's something they obviously can't control. They can't control the weather. We can't. It's just one of them things. So that I can't hold that against Riga. A great thing. Jack Shanahan won King of Riga finally for him. It obviously was a very special moment, and the emotional side definitely helps. I think it sells a huge story for content creating.
Oh, yeah.
It's brilliant, and I spoke to him about it on the podcast. So if anybody hasn't listened to that, it's a good one, I think, and it's available on Spotify. So
I unfortunately did listen to it 2 hours long, Adam. Before I had 2 hours of Adam Ivell before I went to see Adam Ivell. That's the worst mistake ever.
Oh, come on, man. You love it, really.
It was a very good part. We made it through the 2 hours, so that says something, I guess.
That says something, right? Like I think that we're on a good thing. I think I am. So we're gonna carry these on anyway, and that's why you're on one now, Josh. You're on number 3, mate. So congratulations, you've made it, buddy. Ian, text your mum, tell her you made it. So Latvia was Latvia. I enjoyed the kebab van. What's their company name? The kebab fighter that competes in the.
That's what they call the car, the kebab fighter.
Yeah, but is it a kebab factory or something like that, isn't it? Like they had their food at the venue.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, so really cool to actually be able to get some food that isn't slop. Yeah, I just needed something that ain't slop, mate. They feed us like dogs on some of these trips. I'm not even bullshitting, man. Like, especially like we'll get to the fucking last one, mate. Like, some of the food in Poland, I would not have fed my dog, mate. Like, and he ain't picky. So, but anyway, we'll move on. Germany. Now, Germany last year, I'm going to be honest, was one of my least favorite rounds. So I wasn't looking forward to it. I was like, man, this sucks. It's a lot. They're really fucking long days. The venue is really difficult.
They have competition.
Sorry,
Karen. Yeah, they have 2 competitions going on at the same time. So they have Iron Drift King. So Drift Masters is kind of around that sometimes. So after their qualifying, it may be 11 o'clock at night, and they go out for an hour of practice. Like, it's mental.
And it's a long fucking day, man. And the hotel we stayed in last year was like Bates Motel. It was absolutely shocking. But this year, we had a slightly nicer hotel, I think. Can't really remember. It was so recent, but
I'm not sure I can remember Germany.
It was nicer, definitely nicer than last year's. So that was like that was kind of cool type thing. And then the event was just amazing. I remember turning up and the vibe, the music that was playing, it was like walking into a festival. Obviously, that poor fella got flattened by a bus on his bike on the way in, but fuck him, shouldn't be running a push bike. And then we got.
Know what? You say the music. That was my least favorite part, because we had about 20 subwoofers, I think, directly aiming at our cabin.
Yeah.
All we could hold. Yeah, all we can.
But when you're out of there, it's a great atmosphere. And I felt like this year it was probably, if I was to list them all in order of what I enjoyed, I'd put this in number 3, I think. I thought it was a really great event.
Would you?
Yeah, I would. I'd put it as number 3. Joint third with Ireland.
For you, it was a little bit more special.
Oh, of course. Yeah, that's probably why I like it so much. So because Becky Evans' flight got cancelled, I got to stand in for her. On my first ever Red Bull.
Very last minute.
Oh my goodness me, we're talking last minute. Like, I found out from Kian. Can I tell the story of how this happened? I don't know if I've said. So Kian texted me. I was walking up to Sebastian Fontaine's pits because he had qualified from Iron Drift King and competed Drift Masters. He has competed with Drift Masters a few times. I really like him. He's a great guy. So I was like, I'm going to go, because during the day I have to just kind of find stories. So I was like, well, that'd be a cool one to talk about. Let me go find him. As I was walking to his pits, I get a text from Kian, can you come to the office? Well, I can't say no to Kian, so yep, no problem. I get to the office and
thought you were in
fucking
the shit, I bet.
I did think I was in the shit because I was like, why would he just call me to the office? Like, I was like, have I posted a bad sponsor, like competitors to our sponsors? Like, have I slipped up? Have I like posted a video well I shouldn't have posted, maybe like off my reel, like my camera roll? I was thinking, fuck, I was going through the story on the way back. What have I done? Like, shit. Like, I'm gonna get in there. Fucking Ian, who is our commentator that sits alongside Dave in the towers. He's also from Essex, and I'm really close with Ian, and I'm really, really well with him. And he, as I walked in, he looked at me and he went, "Fucking hell, mate, you're in trouble." And I was like, "What?" And then Kian laughed and he went, "No, this is a disciplinary thing, yeah." And I was like, "Right." I've got Kian, who I've known for like fucking 10 years, and I've got Ian, who I've become super close with since I joined up with this, fucking going, "Mate, you fucked up here." And I'm like shitting myself, man, because like I love this job. And I was like, oh, we have to
There's no
finger
line to winding up.
Yeah, there isn't. And then Kian was like, "Oh yes, it is a disciplinary thing." And I was like my heart sank a little bit. I went a bit cold. I was like, "Oh shit!" Like, and then he went, "No, I'm just joking. Do you want to do the Red Bull live stream, present on it?" And I was like, "Yeah." He went, "Cool, because I've already said you'll do it. So let's go in and get you fucking linked up." And I went in and met them, and the guys and the girls in there were like, "Yeah, we'll probably get you to do like 2 or 3 interviews. It won't be anything too hard. I understand if you're nervous." I was like, "I'm not nervous." And they were like, okay, yeah, cool. Well, we'll get you mic'd up." And then they hadn't told any of their production team that I was doing it, because someone was like, "Can you get him mic'd up?" And then the guy who was micing me up was like, "Why are we making you?" I was like, "Oh, I'm being Becky for the day." And he went, "Oh, you're waiting for Becky?" I went, "No, I am Becky right now, just with no hair." Like, I was like, I know I'm not as pretty as her, but like I've got to do her job because like she's not here, so I'm just gonna stand in. And he was like, "Oh, okay." And literally put the mics on. 5 minutes ago, I didn't know I was doing this. Put the mics on, straight down to the start line with a mic in my hand, going, "What the fuck is happening?"
I think we shared a look when you were getting mic'd up, and we didn't say, I don't think we said anything to each other. It was just a look up.
Yeah,
I was
but
like, is this happening? It is happening.
This is going down, baby. And I have to just fill people in. So a week or two previous to that, might have even not even been 2 weeks, LZ World Tour in Ireland had happened. And once again at that, I stood in for Ian, who was meant to be doing that job. And I got to do it for 2 days. And I'm not going to lie, I had the most fun I've ever had. I loved every second of it. I felt so at home and so comfortable doing it. So by doing that for the LZ World Tour, which has such a huge audience in its own right, it was just such an honor to do it for Drift Masters, because I'd kind of like, I never knew I wanted to be a presenter until I started with Drift Masters and doing it on the Instagram. And I was like, "Oh man, I really enjoy this." And like, I've created such a great relationship with a lot of the grid. Like, a lot of the grid I would consider myself close with. Feel like I go up to any of them at any point and they'll make time for me. I've shared some great moments in their stories with them, like, so I've been there throughout a lot of these guys' careers now, and I love it. So being able to be on the start line with them was just fucking awesome. Just being a part of the show properly was fucking awesome. I live and breathe this sport, man. Like, I really do. So getting to, and like, I know a lot of people don't like Joe Rogan, but like, for whatever reasons they have, but I love Joe Rogan. Like, I've listened to his podcast forever. I've watched him on UFC before it was even like a popular thing. Like, I loved Fear Factor as a kid. So he's like been a constant in my life since I was a teenager. And he's obviously someone that I've kind of looked at as inspiration for interviews and everything in the past. So I was like, man, like, I actually get to be Joe Rogan now, but for Drift Masters. Even though it's the qualifying day and it's just on the YouTube, we were still getting like hundreds of thousands of views just on that. And I was like,
oh yeah,
just trying my best. And it went from 2 or 3 interviews to about 8 or 9, I think. And it was
you did more than I've ever seen in a qualifying session. I think you got chucked in at the deep end.
Yeah, and I loved every second of it. And I had great banter with, I think his name was Nick, in my ear. It was great banter, and it was cool, and it was just a lot of like a genuine great time. I have only positive memories, and if it's the only time I ever get to do it, then fair play. I had an amazing time, and I get to tick it off my little list. But if Becky's ever busy doing anything else, I'm always going to be happy to jump into the microphone seat and just take it and see what happens. Like, I just loved it. And so thank you for bringing it up. That was a really special round for me. I guess that's probably why it bumped me up. in my
I will say it's a
but,
very, very tough job to go into. I don't think people just think it's talking, but it's not just talking. It's
oh no.
saying the right thing at the right time and stuff like that. It's a very tricky job. So I will give you one compliment of this podcast. You
Thank
did
you.
a very good job, buddy.
Thank you, buddy. I loved it, and I'll be honest, it was fucking awesome. And my favorite point of the whole thing. There's two favorite things, right? So bear in mind, I swore on the live stream in Latvia. Josh, this man here, goes up into the big crane, sends me a picture of myself. So I look up, and he's just there like that. I was like holding the mic. I was holding the mic, and I was like, and then he's just laughing at me. I held it together. Consummate. Is it? What's the word? I'm a professional, so it is what it is, right? So,
Constantly the professional.
Yeah. I made that one happen, and I also there's another big moment for me in Germany. Josh found out I like crepes. Is that how you pronounce it? Crepes. The pancakes.
Oh yeah, you had the lemon and sugar one.
Yeah, so I don't know why, but when I was a kid, I must have had one that had flavors in that I didn't like, and I just wrote them off as a thing that I was never going to have again. And then I was kind of like, wouldn't mind just having a look at the thing. And I looked at the menu and I was like, we do lemon and sugar. Well, they had another thing on there. I was like, can I just get not that bit on it and just have the lemon and sugar? And then I had one every day and I was like, wow, I like these things now. This is pretty cool. And yeah, I guess that became a thing. So I found something out there that I enjoy, which was pretty cool, you know?
So presenter of Drift Masters, liked crepes. Like that, the two big things to take away from Germany.
That was my summary from Germany. Yeah, I like pancakes that are rolled into a triangle square thing, and I also loved being a presenter with the Red Bull team. I did it for free as well. I'm just gonna let you know that I didn't invoice them at all. I was like, do you know what? They can have this one for free. And for like, I was like, I had
the next is gonna cost.
Oh, next time it's gonna be very expensive. But my favorite thing.
Do you want to do it for free again? Absolutely.
I'll be like, I'll tell you what, I'll have my solicitor send you an invoice, baby. You'll be all right. Then let's go. But that I think the thing is you have to prove people, right? Like you're good enough, and you know it was cool. Absolutely. out of nowhere. It was so cool to be able to say, hey, look, I can do this, you know. So if there ever is a need for someone to fill in, like you can just use me. Like I'd love to do it. So I really like all the
find that is sorry to go across you. It's one of the hardest things I think because it's not just finding a presenter, it's finding a presenter that knows about drifting, which there's not really in the sport many times for people to prove themselves in that. So with commentating, with presenting and everything like that, I think we always say when you pick another one, like to replace someone, like it is very tough. And like that's why it's almost like if someone falls sick, it's like, oh shit, who's gonna fill in there?
Yeah. And we have a very tight team as well. I know like Becky is part of like the Red Bull team, but she feels like she's part of our team as well. To me, anyway, like it doesn't feel.
I think of it as one big team.
Yeah, like we're all like separated.
Red Bull's freelance and
yeah, like so we're all like in our separate segments, but it feels when like she comes into our room and just chills with us, it feels completely normal, you know. So it's like it's a wonderful setup I feel that Drift Masters have, and like it was just great. Like for me, it was just awesome to kind of show the big dogs like, yo, I think I got this in me, and I felt great doing it, and I was gutted when it was over. I was like, man, like that's such a cool job, dude. Like that was so much fun. Back to walking around.
You got a taste of it, so you put yourself out there.
Yeah, and I had a great time. And in fact, because I got to do that, that was mainly the reason I decided to start doing this podcast again. Because I realized when my favorite thing about the whole thing was when the drivers were pulling up and they didn't know that I was doing it. Do you know what I mean? They were expecting Becky, and then there's just my bald ass fucking standing there with like the microphone. And there was one bit where Jack just started chatting to me like normal. He got out of the car and like he was just like chatting, and I was like, bro, we're going live in like 2 seconds.
Think of that.
I was like, we're going live, and he was like, what? I was like, Red Bull TV, we're going live right now. And he was like, oh, okay, like. And then, Nielsen as well. Like he pulled in, and I stopped him, and he was like, "What's going on?" I was like, "Get out!" I've got the Red Bull mic, and he was like, "Oh, cool!" Like, yeah. So it was like such a cool thing to see with them guys, and like they were all happy for me as well because obviously we all want each other to win, right? Like that's like the whole thing. So it felt like a big step up for me. It was fucking awesome to get to just do it, and like I said, even if I never get to do it again, I don't care. Like I got to do it. Like it's one of those things now where I can say, yeah, I did it. And I feel like I did a really good job considering I had zero time to prepare. I was literally, as the laps were going around, I was thinking like, what's happened in this guy's season, and I'm just kind of trying to, by memory, remember everything. And I'm like, right, okay, Orjan's engine blew up in.
You were kind of clued up because obviously you were presenting the background of what was going on. So you did know.
But also in my spare time,
you were the best person for the job.
Thank you, man. And in my spare time, I just spend it with the boys in the pits. Do you know what I mean? Like, I love to know what's going on. I'm like, how's the car? That's one of the first things I ask everybody when they turn up. Like, how's the car? How are you feeling? You ready for the weekend? Like, because I genuinely give a shit. Like, I love watching these lads, and I want them to be the superstars, man. You know, like, I want them to have the best thing. And I also feel like if I was out there, I'd kind of want someone to, you know, some of the team to kind of give a shit. You know what I mean? Like, if, you know, because it's a hard sport. You can drive 4,000 kilometers across the world and not qualify. Do you know what I mean? So it's like,
it's harsh.
So I just feel like there's no harm in just, well, I don't, it's not even like no harm in it. I just love the sport. You know what I mean? Like, I love it. Like, I love it so much. I think it's so great. And I genuinely feel like we're not even getting started. That's how I feel like with drifting. I'm like, man, all right, we filled a stadium with 55,000 people once this season, but I genuinely believe you could do this in every country if there's a right marketing and the right eyes get on it. And I mean, having Red Bull has got to be like the best thing ever, having them publish the sport across their social medias and the access to people they have. It's just got to be a great thing for the sport in general. And Red Bull are badass, you know what I mean? Like, they're fucking cool as fuck. Like, it's cool, you know, and the people that work there are great. Like,
yeah, I find it quite funny because when Red Bull first came in, me and Lucas, we were like defensive against them almost because it's like, who's Red Bull coming in? They try and take over and all that. Like, we really were like thinking they were going to steal it almost. But like after the first year, obviously we're kind of like, oh, they kind of just want this to grow for the same reasons as we want this to grow. And like the things that they did to the live stream, like by putting the onboard cameras and FPV drone, they even tried to do graphics and telemetry and everything. Like, I don't think that worked as good because they couldn't get it true live. But like, they're experimenting. They're putting amounts of money that we would never be able to put into a stream. Like, they've put millions into development and stuff like that to make it the best. And we always say that it's not a live stream anymore. It's a production. It's a show.
Broadcast. Like, I try and call it a broadcast.
It's like a broadcast. We get to play a live stream, and they get no. This is a broadcast, and it is a broadcast. It's like, it's far from it. Like, there's presenters there, pit reporters, telemetry. Like, there's so much going on.
Yeah, and they also.
I always say, actually, the live stream show is almost better than watching in person.
Yeah, it's so great. Well, it's so great to have Dave and Ian commentating as well. They're perfect, man. Like, I just think they're so fun to listen to. I mean, when we're in the room, let's say I'm editing something and you're editing something and we've got them on in the background, I'm normally laughing along, right? Like, I think they're so funny. Like,
oh yeah, absolutely.
And it's just
well, I always think we're seeing something different. Like, we're in the live, and usually we've got a local reporter, so we can't understand anything.
Yeah.
So like, it's nice being back in the office when you're in between stuff and you hear the English commentary of those guys, and it's so good because they're wherever the camera. You're only wherever you are. Whereas they're wherever the camera is. So they could be in the pits, they could be here. Like, they build a story up, and I just think they really
talking about the pits. Talking about the pits, the bit when Becky was interviewing Connor and Rad.
Oh my God,
that was one of the funniest things. What's his name? Sorry, Rad Don.
Donald Burke or Rod Don or whatever you want to call him.
That was one of the funniest things that happened all season on the live stream when he ran in and tripped over the fucking tops tiles or whatever. Who's their sponsor? Sorry, I can't remember what their sponsor's called. The tiles. Tough tiles. Fell over the
tough tiles.
Them tough tile things. He fell over them and flew in the background. Becky's reaction was so funny because she kept it so professional, but for a second the reaction was panic, and it was so funny. And it was just, and then Connor was like, "Oh yeah, my team," and do you know what I mean? Like, it was just brilliant. Like, it was one of my favorite bits of the whole year when I was watching the live. So that was just great.
I've got it to bring a visual to it.
Yeah, cool. It was just so funny.
If you want me to.
Yeah. So for any of the viewers can watch. Here we go. There we go. Oh,
did I miss it?
I don't know, but it was just Becky's reaction.
Sorry. You can just see it. You can just see it in the left or right corner.
Yeah, there he goes. It was Becky's reaction when she's like, oh, because she clocks it because it's behind Connor. And like, oh man, it was just like one of the moments I was like, that is brilliant. Like, that is so funny. Like, that was great. Like, And yeah, I loved the German round this year. I thought it was excellent. I really did, and I guess it was probably made a
You
bit
know
more
what?
special.
It's got potential. It was a bit busier this year. It had more atmosphere. I think the place where it is great, but I think it needs a lot of people there to really bring it together. Because it is kind of built to be like a stadium, like.
Yeah.
But I think it just needs more. It needs more grandstands built around it. It needs more going on. Like I think the first year they ran it as a festival, but they kind of lost that. But it's no, it's definitely got potential that round.
And I guess it was made more special for myself personally, getting to do the presenting.
I really mentioned that already, Adam.
Did I have my mention? I got to do the presenting job. It was great. I loved it, and I'm very grateful that they trusted me, and that it was just quality, man. Like so yeah. And then in my notes, we've got to Poland, so I wrote out bits and pieces throughout the thing here, right, on each bit, just so I had talking points. Poland's bit is just
how much have you been following that? Or
very good. You wouldn't know, but it's very good, very good. You know, because I'm actually kind of good at stuff that you don't know about yet. But I've put Poland,
crikey,
dash, and then all I have after that is fuck me, because that event was I don't know how to describe it. It was fucking amazing, and I can just take my hats off to the team that made it all happen. Really, like having the new guys Adam and Darek come in this year. I think you can see the difference they've made to the championship, and I love working for them. I think Adam is obviously I'm close with Adam out of both of them. He's got a fucking great name as well, by the way. But like I'm obviously closer with him so far this season. I've spent a lot more time with him, working with him, and he has just made it so great to work at Driftmasters now. And what they're bringing to the table with like the stadium, the track, how amazing it all was. It just took my breath away. What did you think of it?
We arrived to the track on the Thursday, I think, or the Wednesday or Tuesday.
You went on the Wednesday, I think.
Right now.
I think you turned up on the day before.
Wednesday.
Right?
So there, obviously, we've seen the videos and everything and pictures of the stadium that there is, but like genuinely, the three of us, it was me, Lucas, and Dave, walked in as they were putting down the tarmac for the track and seeing the stadium for the first time, all the seats. We didn't say anything for a few minutes. Like it genuinely took our breath away and we're speechless. It was just the stadium, to think that drifting got to a level where
give me shivers just thinking about
that many 53,000 or 55, however many thousand people were going to be there. And it's almost one of those things like I didn't believe it until I saw it. And I almost thought because Buddha, he's a Polish influencer YouTuber dude, he pretty much spread the word over his fan base. He's got a massive fan base of millions, and he spread it and pretty much sold it out within a week after he started promoting it. And I almost thought there was a bit of me that thought that he was playing a big practical joke, doing like a Mr. Beast style video of like, I sold out a stadium and put cutouts of him on every single seat or something. And then when it came to the Saturday, the main event, it was like a football game. Like everyone came in within about 15 minutes. And I set a GoPro up before people were let in, went downstairs, I did a few things, edits or whatever it was. And I walked out of an empty stadium to the room and then back into a full stadium. And it was the most overwhelming thing I think I've ever done in my life, of seeing that many people for a sport that you've helped grow for the past however many years. And you like to think that you added a little bit yourself into it. And it was just phenomenal, like ridiculous.
It was like nothing. I actually shivered when I thought about it. So like, I'm never going to forget the days. Them days.
I teared up like a few times during it. Like it was ridiculous.
The moment where I walked through that tunnel and out and just saw the stadium.
There's such a good view coming out of the tunnel.
Yeah, I've never been ground level before. So it was like I sit when I go to the Arsenal, I sit in row 8. So I'm quite low to the floor, but you know, you're in the stands, so it's different because then when you're walking out ground level, where you know that the stars are going to be and like where every set of eyes are going to be on you. I walked out and I was just looking around and I was like, oh my God. I didn't know what to say. I was like, oh my God. And I literally just walked out. I saw Peter's dad, so I shook his hand because I think he has been fantastic for the growth of the sport, with how much money he puts in. And
he gambled with this event.
Yeah,
like massive. a big gamble to like it could have easily been one of the biggest losses in drifting.
Yeah,
and
and
worked out it was one of the greatest things that has ever happened. But like, it was a gamble. Nothing was guaranteed. It was ridiculous.
yeah, so I shook his hand and I just said, like, wow, like, because obviously he's Polish, he can't really speak much English, bless him, but like, he was like,
No,
he was just like amazing. For what we are allowed to do now, it's just we're so grateful that we have someone like him that's so, you know, passionate, you know. So
absolutely wouldn't have happened without him.
no. So like when I got to walk out, and obviously I was wearing my Arsenal top always, so I've walked out in the middle of the pit and I shook his hand.
Come on, you Arsenal.
Come on, you Arsenal. So I was like, actually going to the Arsenal tomorrow. Come on. So I was literally walking out, and I was looking around, and I literally just took in. I didn't talk to anybody. I was just looking around, and I was just like, this is amazing. I was like, this is what it feels like. You know what I mean? There isn't any people in there yet. And then when it started to fill up, I was in the crowd. I went up into the crowd as it was filling up, and I was like, oh man, this is like getting real now. Like, holy shit. Like, and then there was
That's
like,
what it was. It was like it was getting real.
yeah. And I was like, oh shit, people are coming in now, and everyone was having their drinks and their food. And I was like, shit, people are sitting down now. And then you see like the workhouse stand, obviously, the Bud Mat stand, sorry, like the area for the fans. You know, they were all wearing the Bud Mat shirts and that. And it felt like being at a football game, because I was like, yo, this is crazy.
And
then
like, you had the Irish side, and you had
the Irish side, and
the
the Finns everywhere.
It wasn't much of a Japanese side, but there's the dudes with the hats on.
Yeah. And then like, so hopefully we can get some Japanese people over and start watching it eventually. Do you know what I mean? Like, because who wouldn't want to be there? Like, that's like, honestly, and the moment for me where I was just like, I was like, I'm dreaming, man. I'm going to wake up back in Colchester, miserable. Realizing this was all a dream was when
that's honestly the whole way through, it was almost so unreal that it was like a dream. I genuinely was like,
when everyone,
I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and it's all a dream.
When everyone put their lights on their phone for the final, and they were drifting around, the fireworks going off, and obviously, I have to say, I think you had the two outstanding drivers of the season battling it out in the final. It
was such a good finish for it. It was.
Connor Shanahan and Laurie Heinonen have been absolutely fucking amazing this season. Both of them have. And either of them could have won that trophy that weekend for number one. And I think it was always going to be one of them two. For how their seasons have been. I mean, Connor, fuck me, how the Shanahans have managed to get that car to last the season. Not just to last the season, but win as well. Because it's just been constantly.
Did you know in Germany, sorry to take it back around.
No, you're
that
fine.
car, it shut off after every single run.
Every single
won the event.
Yeah.
They had to somehow jiggle things and whatever to get it started. And like sometimes,
and he was turning it off as well, weren't he? Like no warm-ups, no tyre warm-ups.
Warming his tyres one time because they just got it started just to go to the line and somehow nursed it to do that. And then in Poland, the engine, the crank was gone or something like that. What was it? What was it? The crank? No, not the crank. What's the thing inside that? Whatever it was. And then someone had to drive from Amsterdam. We did that journey only the day before. They took, what was it, 3 hours off the journey or something like that?
Wow.
Got the engine together. He did one practice run. They took the sump off the car to see if there was any shards of metal in there. Put it back on, realized that it's good to go. And then he went into qualifying with one lap of practice and had to figure it all out. Went into the next day. Sorry to fast forward here. Went to the next day, and then they had another problem with the car again, which I can't remember what issue that was or whatever. Somehow got it started. He only got half a practice run, and then went into the battles with zero battle experience. He had to figure it all out there and then somehow to go through all that to win the event, to win the person that was second in the championship. Like, nobody deserved it more that day.
No, and I really felt like it was written in the stars. And when I saw it happen, obviously, like I said, we get best seats in the house, man. We really do, and that's why I work so hard when I'm there. Like, because I'm like, I can't take this for granted. I can't now slack off because I'm sure there's thousands of people now that would love to have my job. Like after seeing what we get,
everyone's in that position. I think, like
and
me and Lucas have it with media people. Like people are coming for our jobs and making it known that they want that.
Yeah, and I was just like, do you know what, man? Like, I'm gonna do this. And me and you actually ran up to the top of the stadium, didn't we? Like at the top 8 battles, I think it was.
God, that was a tough old walk. Up all those stairs, wherever inside, getting lost, doing the trip twice. Oh,
and then at the very end, I was on the track within touching distance of Connor, like when he wins. But then I know in my head, I need to be in the stands now with the fucking Irish lot because they're going to be going absolutely apeshit. So as everyone is celebrating, I'm running up to the Irish lot. And I'm like, I ain't got nothing left in me, man. You can see how fucking unfit I am this year. Like, I was like, just got to get there. And I get there straight away. And then
you were better than me. You were like, get this over sooner rather than later. Yeah. You ran up the stairs.
Yeah, I was like, I'm getting there. So I ran straight up to where the Irish lot were. I got all of the shots. They started grabbing me and dragging me in. And I was like, oh, man, this is so perfect. Like, and then as I was walking back down, I think it all kind of hit me because I know like it's hard as people to look in and they're like, oh, they like these guys more. But like at the end of the day, like some of us do have outside friendships with these guys as well. Like something me with Ollie Evans last year. I was so happy he won last year because like in the final in Poland, because he's my mate. I drift with him. Do you know what I mean? He helps me out. You know, like we've got a friendship already. Like, so I was stoked that he won. Like, who wouldn't be stoked their friends just won against the biggest drivers in the Europe? And then as I was walking back down, I just thought, like, man, like Connor, when he was 13, took me around Mondello Park and he's 180. And I was like looking over going, what the fuck am I doing in a car with a kid with this much power? 780 horsepower or something, I remember it saying. And then I had all the memories of like the last 7 or 8 years of watching him grow up from a kid to a man, becoming his friend, you know, sharing like great stories with each other and great moments throughout the years and drifting with him earlier this year, doing twinning with him. Like, I can now say I got to twin with the European champion, and I set good lead lines for him, and he was confident to drive with me. And as I was walking down the stairs back to the track side, because I wanted to be there for the final, I was like, I'm gonna be in the middle for the final now. There's no way I'm fucking missing this, because like I said, I'm a fan of the sport first, right? So like I was like, I've got the access. Fuck it, I'm going there. Like, I'm gonna watch this from the ground floor, from right in the middle, and I got all teary, and I was like, he fucking did it. A little bastard did it. I'm so fucking happy. Do you know what I mean? I was like, I'm fucking like getting all like, I'm like, fuck, you need to take a deep breath in, man, because no one can see you. I don't feel like when you're wearing the Driftmaster shirt, you can be like, you know, fucking, you have to be a bit indifferent, absolutely. Right? But I'd have probably been fucking super happy if Laurie would have won as well, because I love Laurie. He's been nothing but a gentleman to me since I joined, and he was instantly welcoming me into his pits, introduced me to his team that first ever time in Austria. Like, do you know what I mean? And I didn't realize how famous he was like at the time. Do you know what I mean? He's like the biggest YouTube channel in Finland. Like, and he's like, yeah, come on in, man. You're welcome. Just get whatever you want. Like, and that he always comes up to me and talks and I'm just like, I'm so happy that these boys are just getting to be fucking successful in the coolest motorsport on the planet that's growing at a rate that I don't think anyone would have ever expected. And I don't know what, fuck, I was so happy that they just pulled it off. Do you know what I mean? I was like, the two outstanding drivers of the season got to fucking have it out till the last battle. And ain't that all what we really want? Yeah. We want to be entertained, right?
Absolutely.
Surely that's what it is. Like, we just want to be entertained.
I think it's very special that some events, because everyone has something what they want to happen, but very rarely does it happen because obviously it's not wrestling, it's not scripted out.
Yeah.
But occasionally the thing that you want to happen does. And it just makes the event like everything just comes together. Everything that you wanted for the season happens the way you're almost like the story. Because everyone has like a story, drifting is a story, but like everything just came together at the end. Like Connor didn't have the perfect season. Like he had problems. Like he was fighting for the lead at times and everything. And then just in Poland, everything came together. He won the championship, and then Laurie and him were the two people fighting throughout the year the most, and they got to battle in front of all these people at the end. Like that's like the perfect end to the story, really. And if it had gone either way, you wouldn't have been annoyed.
No.
And it was just the best man will win.
Yeah. And I loved the interview that Connor did with Becky, because I watched it back today, and he was like, look, I've spoke to Jack, I've spoke to Laurie, whoever wins, it will be the best man that will win at the end of it. So let's just go and fucking have it. And I'm really glad, if I'm honest, for Connor that he won it in the semis, because it then meant he got to go out and risk everything in the final. And I think he put down one of the best showings I've ever seen. Like, just what a fucking cool thing we get to witness, man. Like, I genuinely, like, I just feel like I like the things is like I've never like really like had chance to just sit and be like, because it's just, you know, I know it's a job, but I get to come and be with the boys who I feel like I've become really good friends with all of you lot over the last few years, like to the point where I just come and stay at your house now when I want to go drifting in Ireland. Like, You know, it's fucking great. Like, and then we get to share this whole experience together. Do you know what I mean? Like, and we get to be a part of the stories that these lads are setting out for themselves as well. Because, like I said, drifting, I think, is still in its infancy. I think a few more sponsors that will come on board are going to blow it up even more. I think we've got the right people in charge of the championship now. We've got the right big sponsor with Red Bull. I don't know how all the contracts work. I don't know if they sit down at the end of the year and say, we're going to invest more, we're going to invest less. Like, hopefully they see what we're doing in terms of how much work, you know, we put in. And, you know, I feel like but I also understand how lucky we are to be in this position. I get it. Like, if I was looking at someone, if I wasn't me looking out, I'd be like, I'd fucking kill to be that guy. Because literally what I do, although I feel like I work very fucking hard, I really do. I feel like I work very, very hard when I'm on these things. I also get to hang out with all the drivers, and I get to become really, like, Jack Shanahan, man. I class him as a really good friend now. Do you know what I mean? Like, and how else does that happen? Like, even if we're just going drifting together, like, I don't think you get as close as you are if you're not spending these moments with each other, and you're there through their highs and their lows, and you're feeling the emotion and the pain that they're going through and the stress. And, you know, like, when I heard Connor's car wasn't working, I was like, how does this always fucking happen? How does that car always break the moment he needs it to work? But they got it to do it, and you live that with them. And, like, obviously as well, like, for me, like, just knowing you lot, getting to be a part of it all, it's just so fucking cool. And I'm just like, do you know what, like, fuck it, man. Like, I know the money might not be paying my bills, but we've got to figure it out. Do you know what I mean? I've got to figure other shit out to make that happen, because I want to keep doing this. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I think that's the next step for drifting. I think you show the potential of it, what it can do, and everything. And I think drifting is one of those sports that I think it's moved different to any other sport. I think that the cars and the money put in by the drivers massively went above where the sport. I think the sport's there, and the drivers took it.
I told my dad today,
way above that.
Dad said about the because my dad loves Drift Masters now. He watches every round. He texts me all about it all the time. He argues with judging decisions just like everybody else does. You know what I mean? Like, it's a sport of opinion as well. But he was saying to me about Timur Lipsky? Is that how you pronounce his name? The Ukrainian young lad with the
carbon and the diesel.
Yeah, no, with the carbon Kevlar Supra, the Ukrainian kid.
Yes.
My dad said to me, he was like, wow, he hit that fucking hard, didn't he? And he was like, how much do them things cost? And I was like, I reckon that HGK Supra with the 2J fully built is probably a 300,000 pound build. And he was like, what? Like, and I was like, yeah, like, the money that goes into these things is serious money at this point. And
there's very few professional drifters that fund it with drifting.
Yeah. And I have to say, I feel like FD had a bit of a victory this year, taking James Dean in the RTR cars. I missed having him about. I feel like James is one of, if not the best driver in the entire world when it comes to not just drifting, but in general. I'm pretty sure you can put him in fucking anything and he'd be amazing. And he's also a character.
He's annoyingly good at go-karting and everything.
Yeah, fucking annoying. Like, I can't believe it. You have to go up against James Dean at fucking Dave Stagdom. Like, I've got to race James Dean. What the fuck's fair is this? You know, like, but it's great. And
he was first in that as well, wasn't he?
No, second. He's second. Didn't Mike Fitz beat him? I think. Was it Mikey Fitz beat him?
Oh, well, Mike Fitz is like a twig. He weighs half as much as James.
Oh, but
he's more aerodynamic. He's shorter.
But, like, there we go. Once again, though, like, it's very rare that you'd ever get access to somebody maybe like James Dean in a social setting, and I get to have that occasionally with him. And
have access, you mean?
Yeah, like, have access. You don't get access to the top in anything, right? Yeah, I couldn't go and hang out with David Beckham tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's impossible. So, like, it's so cool to see them when they get to relax and have fun, and then you get to have banter with them, and you get to have a laugh. And, like, that video I did with James at fucking LZ World Tour, where I was stood on the steps and the camera guy goes back. It's fun, right? Like, you get to have a little bit more of a personal relationship with
that's what it's about. I think it's still fun.
And drifting is fun, and, like, I hope we get him back. I'm not gonna lie. I love you, FD, but can we have James Dean back, please?
I do as well.
I hope we get James Dean back.
Sincerely.
Please. Can we just have him back? You can keep all the rest. We'll just have James Dean. That'd be great. But it was we've kind of rounded up the thing. What has been your favorite, if you've got a favorite moment of the season? Do you have anything that is outstanding to you? Like, one thing
you've been hungover in Riga.
Do you know after that? So I got drunk on Thursday night, right? So then we had practice on Wednesday night. The Wednesday night I got drunk. Thursday was practice day. Friday was practice and qualifying. Saturday was the main event. Sunday we fly home. Was it Sunday we fly home? Or was it? No, it was Saturday, Sunday event, wasn't it? That was why it was weird. So we didn't get to go out after the event. So I get home that Monday at 2 p.m. in the afternoon, and I'm still hungover. I went to bed and I slept until 8 p.m. And then I was like, fuck, I'm never going to get to sleep tonight. So I went downstairs, I walked the dog, I went back to bed, and I slept through till 12 o'clock the next day. It was bad. So I'm glad that was fun.
I think realistically, it was massively. I think realistically, the highlight was obviously Poland, because I think that is a very groundbreaking thing for drifting. I think it put Drift Masters on the map globally, worldwide. There wasn't a person that knew anything about drifting that didn't know about that event. And I think it was just phenomenal. I still think that it didn't happen. Only looking back at the footage, I kind of relived the event. It's like, oh shit, it did happen. That is a ridiculous thing to do. Like, completely, there's a bit of controversy with Vaughan and the biggest drift event and everything like that. But like, that was an event with driving and a festival and everything like that.
The halftime show was amazing. Oh my god, the halftime show by Buddha and the freestyle motocross guys, amazing.
Yeah.
My favorite moment, and obviously, like I said, we get fucking special access. I know that. Like, getting to stand in the middle of the track and watch Laurie and Connor battle under them phone lights with how beautiful it looked. It was beautiful. It was amazing.
You know what the worst thing was? I was on my drone for that, and I was outside the stadium. I didn't even get to see the final.
It was it was like such a moment that I literally will never, ever, ever forget. And like, I mean, you just can't. Like, that moment will literally live with me forever. And the fact that I got to congratulate both of the lads straight away, and like, got to watch Connor celebrating, and I got to fucking give Laurie a big hug afterwards and just say, well done, mate. Like, fuck, what a season. What a fucking drive. And I can't wait to see him next year. Because this geezer, every time I see him, he gets better. I'm like, fucking, now he's got a winter to go and practice. Get his car even better. I'll tell you what, man, there's going to be a lot. I think Kevin Pascotti could come back next season and be a real threat to everybody as well. I think
that's the thing where you leave it off. I think the season started like that, with not knowing who's going to come in next year, and next year is going to be, there could be some other guys. There could be even new people that come in. Like, you don't know who's going to be the best driver,
and who knows what other drivers may end up looking at what's going on. Because I think now Calais, who is a current World Rally champion, and like I said earlier, probably going to win it again this year, because he is just talent of another level. Like, and also the loveliest.
He's a kid. He has no fear.
The loveliest fucking guy ever. Like he's so
and his
famous.
Dad as well, isn't it?
And his dad's a legend as well. Like, fucking, and they're so lovely. They're so nice. Like, they make time for everybody. They're so polite. They're so nice. Like, and I think that's the thing about drifting, is that it's such a ridiculous sport when you think about what we actually do. But it's
it is, absolutely.
It's a big family, and we all fucking realize we're all a bit on the fucking the charts, I think. And you're like, do you know what? Let's just roll with it. Let's just see where this ends up, man. Who knows what's going on? But Josh, guess what? It's probably been about an hour and 45 minutes, this podcast. So I know you've got to get out.
I did say I was only doing an hour before. I've got F1 to watch, and then you interrupted it because I didn't know how long the F1 went on for. The Singapore F1 goes on for longer than any other race.
Yeah, well, F1 is what it is, right? So I think it's meant to be a good one, though, isn't it? But I guess on a red.
You dare to? I'm going to take my earplugs off. You dare,
Josh? Go enjoy the rest of the F1. Have a nice evening, whatever you're doing. Everybody that's listened all the way through, once again, thank you so much. I will figure out how to get these podcasts across the board on everything. It's going to be on YouTube and Spotify. Josh, have a great evening, my friend, and I will hopefully see you before the year's out. Are we doing a Christmas party? Can you convince Dave we can do a big Drift Masters Christmas party for us media team?
We do a Christmas party, or there'd be a bash, or I'm sure there'd be something that you nag your way into.
Oh, I'm nagging my way into everything you boys do. I'm an underscore Adam I at Drift Game soon, fucking on my Instagram. Right, I'll see you.
Yeah, you go for underscore Drift Games.
Well, Adam's already got Adam underscore Drift Games in it, but he's got a great name, so I'll let him have it.
True.
Right, you take it easy.
Adam Driver underscore Drift Games.
I'm not calling myself Adam Driver, mate. Even though I am some pilot, I'll tell you that. Right, Josh, go have a nice evening. Thank you, everybody, for watching. If you want to support what I'm doing, grab a hat or a t-shirt at 61.com, or go show the boys at Drift Game some love, because they've always shown me some love too. So go buy some stuff off them. Right, you can fuck off now, mate.
There we go, doing the heart. That's love to you.
Why was that so hard?
Listen, I haven't done that before. I've only ever seen it.
Right, Josh, thank you for your time, mate. I do appreciate it.
Been
And
a pleasure, dude.
I'll let you know when this is all going live. Cheers, buddy.